Today's story is about a boy who can't speak and he was always sad. One day he saves a blind girl from dying who can't see. Now what happens in their lives that changes their lives? We will see in the story. Now in the beginning of the story we see a girl named Ayeshin who was painting on the wall. Suddenly a girl comes to the roof while hanging. She was going to commit suicide. Then Ayeshin grabs her and pulls her back. But still that girl doesn't believe But Ayu doesn't let her commit suicide. On which that girl starts crying. That I am tired of this life. I don't want to live anymore. And this girl is blind. That means she can't see anything. Ayu also couldn't speak. That's why he couldn't ask her. That why do you want to die? Then that girl's teacher comes running. Which says to her. That Mika, why are you doing all this? Then we come to know that this girl's name is Mika. Now the teacher takes Mika with him. Then Ayu sees a bell of Mika, which he keeps with him. Now Ayu comes down after finishing his work, where the uncle working with him says to him that music is not working on my phone. Will you fix it? So Ayu starts listening to her by playing the bell of Mika by playing music on his phone. Now the next day we see Mika who was listening to piano sitting in a piano hall. Now after the class is over, some girls come to Mika and ask her what happened to you yesterday. Mika is very angry with her and says that you should be happy that your biggest competitor can't compete with you. And she leaves. In the next scene, we see the doctor where Mika came to check her eyes. Then we see Mika's flashback where she was going on the road and an accident happened to her car. Now in present, the doctor tells him that your surgery has been successful. But it may take some more time to see you. As soon as he hears this, Mika gets a little sad. We see the same Ayu who was practicing judo in the club. Because he likes judo very much and he is also an expert in it. After judo, Ayu goes to dinner with his friends. But then some goons come there who start troubling a couple. Now Ayu's friends are also there. He doesn't see all this. So he gets into a fight with those goons, where he picks up a goon and hits him. Then the police car goes from there, from which those goons run away from there. Now next day, Ayu teaches his work, where he does cleaning work in Mika's college. Then his companion, that uncle says, will you take my garbage car to the old piano hall? So Ayu, he takes her car to the old piano hall. Then he sees that the same girl Mika was coming there, whom he saved yesterday. Now Mika goes to that piano hall with the help of a stick, where she starts playing the piano. But because of not being seen, she was not able to play the piano properly. So she starts crying very much. He was seeing all this from outside. Now Mika starts going out quickly while crying. But she falls down after hitting something. Then Ayu suddenly opens the gate for her help, because of which Mika gets scared that who is there. But Ayu couldn't answer her and started giving her his stick. Then Mika takes her stick and leaves. Ayu just keeps looking at her. After finishing his work, Ayu is roaming with his friends in the evening. Then his friends see a sports car, seeing which they start touching the car. But then the owner of the car comes who behaves rude to them. That now stay away from my car. Now listen to this, Ayu's friend goes to fight with him in anger. But Ayu stops him. On which that guy takes his car and leaves. Now the next day we see Mika who is going to her college alone. But her mom refuses to go to college alone. College is far from here. But Mika says that I have to fulfill my dream of becoming a pianist. From there Ayu hears all this. When Mika goes to college, her mom and grandma follow her. But Mika hears their voice and she gets angry. She says, you go home, I will go to college alone. Her mom and grandma go back. But when Mika goes to college, we see that Ayu is also following her. Without her knowing, he was helping Mika. He comes to drop her at the library. But then he remembers that he forgot the library key in the storeroom. So he runs to get the key. When Mika goes to the library, the door is closed. So she goes back, but then Ayu opens the library and starts ringing Mika's bell. Mika stops and asks her, who are you? But Ayu doesn't respond to her. Now Mika goes to the library and starts practicing piano. After practicing, when she comes out, she falls down the stairs. On which Ayu starts helping her and gives her her stick. So Mika says to Au that the bell you have is mine. So Au starts ringing the bell, but Mika says that you can keep it. Then she asks if you are also a piano student, but you can't say anything to Au. Then Mika asks if you don't want to talk to me. On which Au was going to tell him on his phone that he can't speak. But then Mika says that you can also tell me by touching my hand that you play the piano or not. If you touch once then yes, and if you touch twice then no. Then Au sees that his hands were very dirty, so he takes out the pen and touches his hand once. That means yes. Then Mika says that you are also a piano student, so can you open the gate here every Saturday for me? Then Au touches her hand again. Then Mika says, by the way, what is your name? Then Au starts writing on Mika's hand with a pen. Due to which Mika laughs. Forgive me, but I did not understand anything. Can you write your name with your hand? Then Au writes his name with his hand. Au, then Mika says, okay, Au. Now we will meet next Saturday. And you play me piano and sing. Now listen to this. Au gets upset because he does not know how to play the piano. He just lied like this. Now Mika goes away from there and comes to her piano teacher, where her teacher says that you can become a good composer. And we have also found a job for you as a composer. As soon as Mika gets upset because she wanted to be a pianist. So she says that I will not stop dreaming of becoming a pianist. Whatever happens. And saying this, she leaves in anger. But when she comes out, there was a lot of crowd outside. Because of which Mika collides with a girl. Because of which she gets very scared. Then for a while she sees everything as a mess. Due to which she gets a panic attack and she gets very scared. Then Au comes there who starts ringing the bell. As soon as Mika hears this, she calms down. Now Au starts ringing the bell and showing Mika the way. Mika also starts following her after hearing the voice. Now in the next scene we see the same sports car guy, whose name is Kimoto. He is from a very well family, where his family knows how to play music. The next day, Kimoto teaches a girl to play the piano, because he himself is a good pianist. Now after teaching, when he comes out, he sees that he still has an hour left. So he comes to the old piano hall while walking, where he starts playing the piano. Then in a while, Au comes there, who plays such a good piano for him, he starts clapping for him. Then Kimoto says, why are you clapping? Then Au comes to him and tells him that can you play piano for me? I will also give you money for this. Then Kimo behaves very rude. I don't think you have money. And anyway, I don't play piano for anyone. And he leaves saying this. Now we see that Kimo comes to a casino, where he was losing money again and again, because of which he becomes very frustrated. He starts beating the table. Then a guard refuses to make him scream. But Kimoto starts fighting with him. That you are so big that you will tell me what to do. On which that guard gets angry with Kimoto. Then the casino manager goes there, who takes Kimoto with him, and tells him that you have now 3 million on him, so you have to pay it. Otherwise you can't gamble here. Now Kimoto comes out of there frustrated. Then he sees that Ao had come here following him. So Kimoto says you have come again. So Ao says on the phone that please play the piano for me. So Kimoto says I think you don't understand. My fees are too much that you won't be able to afford. Still you want to play the piano. So I will take 1 lakh. Now, hearing the name of so much money, Au is shocked and starts requesting him that I will not be able to give so much money. So Kimo says, okay, give me 50,000 won. Now listen to this, Au gets happy that I will arrange so much money. Now on Saturday, Kimo comes to Au, where Au tells him that Mika is in the piano hall, but you don't talk there. So Kimo says, okay. Now Au gives him Mika's bell. Now coming inside, Kimo plays piano very well, because of which Mika is very happy. Meanwhile, Au was also happy to see Mika happy. Now later Au comes to his friends, where he says that he needs another job. Hearing this, his friend asks him that what is the need of so much money. But Au does not tell him anything. So a friend says from behind that is there any girl's affair? So Au starts feeling shy, on which they all understand that this is a girl's affair. Then an uncle comes there who tells that there is a vacancy in another job. So Au asks to do that job, on which that uncle keeps him for the job. After this, every Saturday, Au hires Kimoto to play the piano. When Mika comes to the piano hall, Kimoto plays the piano for Mika. Mika is very happy. Au is also very happy to see Mika happy. But he has to work hard to pay Kimoto. And he works day and night. He works in the college in the morning and in the garage in the evening for Mika's happiness. Because of which he does not get time to sleep. So he always sleeps. Mika was also listening to the piano lying down. And Kimoto was also smiling at Mika and playing the piano. The next Saturday, Au was very tired. So he falls asleep. But when she wakes up, she remembers that Mika must be sitting alone in the piano hall. So he runs to the piano hall. Mika was sitting alone in the piano hall, practicing the piano. But she was making mistakes again and again in playing the piano. So she gets upset. But then Kimoto comes there, who starts playing piano with Mika. Mika also starts playing the piano happily. Then Au sees them from outside. Seeing that, his heart breaks. He wanted to make Mika happy, but he was so happy that he was in pain. So he leaves from there. Now let's see the next day scene where his friend Yuka came to take his girlfriend to the movie. Then he asks his girlfriend where is Au. His girlfriend says that I think Au is in a wrong girl's trap. Because he works day and night for money. Now listen to this. Yuka is surprised that Au is not like this. Now Yuka leaves her girlfriend and goes to find Au, where he asks some people about Au. But he doesn't know anything. Then he asks that uncle who works with Au. Then that uncle says to him that Au is seeing a dream that can never be fulfilled. He is just getting stuck in that dream. So you get him out of this dream. Otherwise, he will never be able to come out of this dream. Now Yuka doesn't understand these things. Then she sees the same sports car on the way. Then he sees Au who is giving money to Mato. Now he is very surprised to see this. It seems that Au has got stuck in something wrong. Then he follows Kimoto who goes to a gambling house. Now Yuka also goes to that gambling house. But then a guard stops him. And he is the same man with whom they had a fight outside the restaurant. Then Yuka talks to him about something that we can't see. Now in the next scene, we are shown with Au and Mika, where Au was going to leave Mika at home. Then on the way, Mika starts feeding a puppy. Then later when they were sitting by the river. Then Mika says holding Au's hand that your hand is no less than the hand of any god for me. Because these hands have always saved me. Now listening to this, he gets shocked and starts remembering his past while looking at his hand, where we see his flashback, where the fight between the group of Au and the other group had happened, where a man starts hitting Au's friend with a knife. Now as soon as he was about to hit Yuka with a knife, he saves him from Au. But that knife enters Au's throat. Then that man starts shouting at everyone that I killed him and I will kill you all too. So in anger, Au kills the same man with the same knife, which kills him. And that's why he had to go to jail, and since then his voice also goes away because of his neck. Now, remembering all this, he was looking at his elephant. Now the next day, he comes to clean the college where he looks at a piano and sees that there is no one there. So he tries to play the piano but he doesn't understand how to play it. Then Kimoto comes from behind. Seeing this, he starts paying his fees. Then Kimoto asks him why are you doing all this for him? He tells her on his phone that I have to fulfill his dream. Because he has a dream but I don't have any dream. Then Kimoto says something to Au that why don't you come with me on the drive? And you call him too, he will like it too. On which Au doesn't answer. Then Kimoto says don't worry, I won't tell him that I play piano in your place. And anyway I need money, so tell me will you take me to the car? This will also improve his mood. So Au listens to him. Now next Saturday, Au takes Mika somewhere to go for a drive, where Kimoto was driving a car. But he was also looking at Mika in the mirror again and again because he started liking Mika. Now later Mika and Au sit together by the river and spend a lot of time. Then Kimoto comes and says that we have to go that way. So Mika starts walking with him while holding his hand on Au's shoulder and starts singing a song. So Kimoto says that it is a very good song. If you have made this song, then Mika says that there is no such thing. Now in the fresh air here, Mika is very happy. Was happy. The same Au and Kimoto were looking at Mika. Then later it starts raining there. So they all come to a room. But the door was closed there. And next to it was written on a board that this room is on rent. So contact this address. So Kimoto calls that number. But no one picks up the call. So Au is clicking a picture of that board. Kimoto tells him that he is going to that address to take the keys to the house. Then he leaves from there. Now after Au's departure, Kimoto checks the second door of that house, which is open. Actually, this is Kimoto's plan. So that now he brings Mika home, where Mika asks, "Is Au okay?" Then Kimoto says, "Yes, he is fine. He just went nearby." Then Mika asks him, "Has Au ever talked to you?" Then Kimoto says, "I don't know if he can talk or not, because he only talks to me on the phone." Mika says, "Really?" Then she says, "When will this rain stop?" There we see Au who came to take the keys of that house. Then an old lady opens the gate to which Au shows the photo of that board. That lady understands that Au is a guest. We see here that Kimoto says that there is a piano here, and he brings Mika with him to the room where the piano was kept. Now, coming there, Kimoto starts playing the piano and says, "This is the same sound that you were humming outside." Mika says that I was right. Kimo says surprisingly, "What is it?" Mika says that you were the one who played piano for me in the piano hall. Kimo says that how did you know this? Mika says that I knew it from the first day. But please don't tell this to Ao, otherwise she will feel bad that I knew all this from the beginning. Kimo starts to provoke him against Ao. You know what kind of person he is. He is not a piano student. Mika says that it doesn't matter who he is, I just know that much. That she is no less than an angel for me. She came into my life suddenly one day and she saved my life. And every time those hands gave me a new hope to live. So her hands are no less than the hands of a god for me. Now listen to this. That Motu is shocked because he wanted to separate Mika from Au. What a bad guy he is. Then that lady came out. She comes to the house with Au. She opens the door for Au. Then Kimoto sees Au coming inside the house. So he goes to Mika and starts kissing. As Au sees while kissing. Now Mika moves Kimoto away. But Au thinks Mika is wrong. So he starts going from there. Then Mika learns from her bell that Au was here. So she starts calling Au. Then Kimoto stops Mika. But Mika does not stop and again tells Au to stop. But Au was so angry that he throws Mika's bell and starts going from there. Their poor Mika goes to stop him but falls down the stairs and starts crying a lot that Au stop. But Au had gone from there. Au gets a bell. Au comes running on the road. He was very sad. Because now his heart was broken completely. Now he understood. The dream he was watching, he can never be complete. That's why he starts crying sitting on the road. And this is a very emotional scene. Now the next day, Au again gets busy with his work, where he was doing the cleaning work in the college. When Mika was going to college, she hears the bell. She thinks that Au has come. She apologizes to him. She says that Au, please don't misunderstand me. When she touches him, she understands that he is Kimoto. Kimoto apologizes to Mika that I am ashamed to forgive me for that day. I shouldn't have done this. Then suddenly a van stops. Some of the goons get off and put them in the van. And they both get kidnapped. Here we see that his friend Yuka comes to meet Au, who tells Au that you come with me. Now you don't need to do any extra work. On which time Au wants to tell him something. But Yuka doesn't listen to him. That I know why you were earning so much money. Because I saw you giving money to Kimoto. But don't worry. I have arranged for it too. Now listen to this. Au gets surprised. What did you do to him? Then Yuka says that Kimoto had already had a debate with the guards of the casino, which I asked Kimoto to teach a lesson. And he agreed. He just took some money from me. And now Kimoto must be beating in the garage. Now listen to this, Au gets very angry at him. Because without knowing the truth, he made a big mistake. Then in anger, Au leaves with his bike. At the same time, the police were investigating in the college. Because till now, the news of Mika's kidnapping had spread everywhere. And Au was the only one who could understand them. Then when Au passes through the college, the police stop him. That are you, Au-sen? On which Au drives his bike. But the police do not let him go. Meanwhile, an officer says in the police officer's mic that Au may have already committed a murder. Now all of them are shocked. Now the police also believed that he had kidnapped Mika. But then Au's uncle catches those policemen. On which Au runs away as soon as he gets a chance. Now we see Mika, where that goon was touching her hair. On the ground, Kimoto was lying down, who was beaten a lot by those people. Then that goon says while smelling Mika's hair, "It smells very good. Your shampoo is completely different from our shampoo." Mika was very scared. Then he says to Kimoto that you told me that day, "Did you know that when I was young, I used to wash my hair with the soap that washed the dishes?" Then Kimoto says that I beg you, please let Mika go from here, she has no fault in it, but that goon does not listen to him. And throws him in the mud. I have heard that you play the piano very well. So why don't I break your hand so that you can never play the piano? Actually, this goon was taking his personal revenge because Kimoto had insulted him in the casino before. So he hits Kimoto's hand with a rod and pierces his hand. Because of which Kimoto is in a lot of pain and he screams a lot. Meanwhile, Mika comes to save him with an iron rod while crying. But those goons push him down. Then Au comes there. As you can see, that goon says, "I am doing all this for you. Because we are from the same place, from a lower place." But when Au starts moving forward, a fat man comes to stop him. But Au drops him down in one punch. Then he starts killing everyone again and again. But later that goon kills Au. Then Kimoto also attacks that goon. But the goon attacks him with a rod as soon as he was about to kill Kimoto. But because he can't see him, he accidentally kills Kimoto. Due to which his blood starts flowing. Then the scene is cut and we are shown that Kimoto is in the hospital, where she is in a very serious condition. Then in the next scene, we are shown with Au, where the police have arrested him and the question is going on, how did you kill Kimoto? Then a police officer asks that Kimoto was your friend, then why did you kill him? On which he writes and tells that he hates him. She asks but why? Then Au writes that he has everything that I don't have. Meanwhile, Mika goes to that old piano hall, where she doesn't get the piano. Then in the next scene, she comes to meet Au in jail, where she takes Au's name. So Au once taps on the mirror. Then Mika says, "Why did you do this?" "That day I killed Kimoto." So Au taps twice. That means no. On which Mika starts crying that you are a big liar. Please tell the truth. I don't want you to be punished instead of me. And while crying she says, "Why are you doing all this for a girl like me? Please tell me, Au Senator," but Au doesn't answer her. And starts going from there. On which Mika cries a lot. And Au's name was being taken again and again. After some time, we are shown that Mika's mom was sending Mika somewhere. Then Yuka comes running there. Who says to Mika that I am Ayashin's friend. He has left a message for you. So Mika says, "Who is Ayashin?" On which Yuka starts tapping on his hand. That one tap means yes and two taps mean no. And Au said that by tapping you will believe me. So Mika comes out of the car and asks her mom and grandma to sit in the car. And going a little far, she asks Yuka to read that letter. Then Yuka reads that letter, in which it was written that when you said that my hands are no less than God's. That day those words were like a light in the darkness for me. But to tell the truth, my hands had become dirty long ago, which I could never clean. So please forget me and I want you to always be happy. That's all I want. Now listen to this, Mika's eyes start crying. Then Yuka starts leaving by giving him a letter. But Mika stops him saying that please let me meet Ayashin. I hurt Kimoto, not Au. On which Yuka shouts that Au doesn't want to meet you. Mika says, but why? Then Yuka says that our clothes, our food, everything is different from you. Our world is different from you. So please don't try to meet AU from now on. Otherwise, I will never forgive you. And after saying this, he leaves. Mika is very sad. After some time, we are shown Kimoto, who was saved from that accident. Then a nurse tells him that someone has come to meet you. When Kimoto looks back, Mika was there. Then Kimoto asks him if you have come alone. Then Mika says yes, because now I am looking like a doll. But I still can't recognize people's faces. Then she says sorry to Kimoto that he had killed her by mistake. On which Kimoto says that you are not at fault. I had to get the punishment for what I did to you and AU. Then he requests Mika to teach Mika piano. Now the same time has passed, and now 2 years have passed, where Mika has become a very good pianist. And now she is also looking good. Today she performs on the stage for the first time, where many people came to listen to her. But Mika was still sad. Now when Mika comes out of the hall, Kimoto congratulates him for his first dream. Mika thanks him. Kimoto says, "Your dream has started from today." Mika says, "Should I have been here? You lost your hand and Ayashin lost his life for me." Kimoto says, "Today's stage is also Ayashin's day." Then he tells her, "I already know where Ayashin is after getting out of jail, but I didn't want to lose you. So I didn't tell you," and he says while being sad, "Please forgive me for this." Now this time Mika becomes sad and remembers her past, where when she accidentally attacked Kimoto, all those goons ran away from there. But Ayashin doesn't go from there. He picks up Mika's bell and keeps it, and comes to Mika and starts making her quiet. Then later he takes that rod and starts cleaning it so that Mika's fingerprints don't come in it. And then he stands in front of Kimoto with that rod until the police comes there. And in the same way, he himself. Now in the present, we are shown a scene of a ship where Ayashin works. Then when the construction work is going on, Mika comes there, who asks everyone about Ayashin, but no one knows about Ayashin. So Mika herself starts looking everywhere while calling Ayashin's name. But everyone forbids her to go ahead. But Mika does not listen to them and calls Ayashin's name. While Ayush was cleaning the ship, a man says that let's go from here, now this ship is going to leave. Then Ayush hears the voice of Mika, whose name was being taken again and again. Then she says to the leader there that I have heard that Ayush Sen works here. So the leader asks everyone whose name is Ayush Sen here. But no one knew who was AU. AU was hiding behind a man. Then the leader says to Mika, "That's enough. You go away from here or I'll call the police." Mika gets upset and starts going from there. Then the man in front of AU says, "By the way, your name is also AU." On which AU hits his hand. Mika hears this. When she comes to that man, the man lies to her that she said it by mistake. Then Mika starts going again. Now as everyone starts returning to their work, the bell of AU breaks and falls down. Hearing this, Mika returns and starts looking for the bell. But then suddenly a truck comes there. Mika was about to crash into it, but then he pushes it and saves it from AU. And here for the first time Mika sees AU, who says to AU that you are AU. So AU taps on his hand once. That is, Mika becomes very happy. AU is also very happy to see Mika happy. Then Mika kisses AU. And with this, friends, the happy ending of this movie happens. The movie starts in 1975. We see an orphanage in Spain, where those children are kept who have no one in this world. There was a girl named Laura who was playing with her friends. After some time, someone takes Laura's lap. And we see the time after 30 years in the story, where Laura was married. She has left her husband and 7-year-old son with Simon. Laura had recently bought that orphanage again, where her childhood had passed, because she wanted to take care of those special children, making that place as before. In a few days, this family shifts there. One day, when Simon was playing in that new house, that means orphanage, he tells his parents about his 2 friends. He said that they are my invisible friends. I can only see them. His parents thought that he must have made his imaginary friends because he is a child. They avoided Simon's words. The next day, Laura brings Simon to show a cave on the edge of the sea. Simon goes inside to check it, while Laura is waiting for him outside. But when Simon doesn't come outside for a long time, Laura goes to find him. She goes inside. She sees Simon talking to someone alone. But when Laura checks, she finds nothing except the footprints of the children. Going back home, Simon throws many shells on the way. So his new friend will come to their house while chasing the shells. The next day, a bad woman. She comes to meet Laura. She says that I am a social worker and also work as a doctor. Laura brings her inside the house. Social worker talks about Simon and shows her his file. We know that Simon was adopted by her son. She tells that before you adopted Simon, he had a disease. I was treating it. Now because of his being a doctor, I still want to treat him. But Laura says, my husband is a doctor himself, and I want Simon's treatment not to go outside but to stay at home in our care. So she sends him a file from there with a social worker. When Laura checks the file to confirm the disease. So her report was positive. Laura didn't want Simon to know that he was adopted son, and he is sick. So Laura hid the file in a locker in the cupboard, and kept the keys with her. That night, Laura opened her eyes because of a loud voice. The voice was coming from the shed outside her house. So Laura goes there to check. She sees there are social workers who are investigating in the shed, as they are searching for something important there. Laura is scared. She tells about it, waking her husband up. Both come to check, but social workers have left there. Next morning, Laura opens the door of the house. She finds the shells in a line outside. These are the shells which Simon dropped on the way while returning from the cave. Simon tells Laura about his 6 friends, that they are all invisible. Soon I will also become like them, and then I will always be with them. Laura feels strange. Then she sees Simon's drawing, where she had also made the pictures of those 6 invisible friends. One of them had also worn a mask. All children had no one in their hands. They show the drawing to Simon and ask Laura what is in their hands. Simon says that my friends steal things from others and hide it. Then the owner of the thing has to find his thing with the help of the clues. If a person finds his thing with the help of clues, they fulfill one wish of that person. This is a game, and I am also going to play that game with my friends, where I have to find my coins. My friends have hidden it somewhere. So Laura also becomes ready to support Simon while thinking it as a game, because she was feeling that Simon is going to play with me. She must have hidden her coins somewhere after setting all the clothes. Now she goes into Simon's room through clothes, then into the garden, then into another room, then into the kitchen. At the end, Simon finds a key. It was the same cupboard in which Laura had hidden Simon's file. When Simon opens the cupboard with the key, he finds his coins in the middle of the file. Simon was happy to find the coins, but Laura starts to scold him, snatching the file. Simon says, I already know that I am your adopted son. I have a disease, and I will die. Laura wakes up and asks Simon who told you this. Simon says that Thomas did. His invisible friend wears a mask. Hearing it, Laura is shocked and worried. The next day, a party is held for those special children whom Laura was going to take care of. When she comes to invite Simon to the party, he forbids her to go with him, saying, Come to Thomas's house with me. She forbids, saying, You can't go, son, there is a party at home. And they had a discussion about it. When Simon came down on a high temper, Laura slaps him. Later, he was also sad. But Simon left in anger. After a while, Laura says, to make her happy, she is not found anywhere. Then she sees a child standing there. He was wearing the same dress and mask as Simon had made Thomas in his drawing. Laura thinks that he is Thomas. When Laura starts to remove her mask, the kid pushes her into the bathroom. When the kid locks the door, Laura's hand comes in the middle. She starts to tremble in pain. Hearing her voice, her husband comes there. He opens the door and takes Laura out. Simon still had no clue. Everyone starts to search for her. Laura also searches for her in every room. When she realizes that she is not at home, she goes to the beach to search for her. She starts to run towards the cave while crossing the beach. But she drowns before this. At the same time, her husband comes and saves her life. After this, Laura was taken to the hospital, and police tries to find Simon, for which they went to the cave. Now Laura's husband tells her that Simon didn't meet the police in the cave. She says, "How can this be? I saw him standing outside the cave. Then I ran." The police doctor who was standing nearby says that it is just Laura's delusion. He also said that it is possible that Simon was kidnapped by your relative or acquaintance. Hearing this, Laura and her husband thought of that social worker. When Laura tells the police doctor that she came to my house to talk about Simon. One night she also entered the house and was panting in the shed. But the police doctor said that how can this happen? Because there is no social worker named Laura. But because Laura had met him in reality, she felt that she had kidnapped Simon. She was sure that she will get her son. Now because Laura had a wound on her leg, she has to use a wheelchair. Seeing this condition, her husband, he tries to hold Laura and gives her a comfort. Then he takes off his chain and gives it to Laura saying, "You wear it and when Simon finds it, I will take it back from you." When Laura was sleeping, her eyes opened with loud voices at midnight. She was coming to Simon's room. So Laura goes there to check. She sees a doll on Simon's bed. Now the scene shifts from here after 6 months. And because the police couldn't find Simon yet. So they both had lost hope that they will meet Simon. But one day when they were going somewhere, they saw a social worker. She was crossing the road and she was holding a baby carriage. She was hopeful that Simon will be with her. "And we will get our son today." Laura calls him to talk, but a bus comes and takes the social worker. Laura started screaming and screaming. She ran to the baby carriage crying. There she finds another doll. The mask was similar to Thomas. Laura tells her husband that she is dead when she goes to check the social worker. After this incident, the police doctor brings some pictures and reels from the social worker's house. So she can check. It is known that the social worker used to work in the orphanage where Laura used to live in her childhood. She was telling all these things to Laura. She says that there was a son of a social worker named Thomas. And because his son's face was damaged, he always wore a mask to hide his face. And social worker also keeps his son hidden from everyone. Now police doctor shows Laura a newspaper in which it was written about the disappearance of Thomas. "Laura, when you were adopted in your childhood, some children took Thomas and went to the cave. They took off Thomas's mask in the cave. And she came out after running. Because she wanted to see if Thomas will come out without the mask. Those children had left from there, but Thomas remained inside. Then the high waves of the sea also came there. And that poor man could not come out of there. Because water had also come in the cave. And he died from drowning." Laura says, "How can this be? Because I saw Simon disappeared in my house that day." The police doctor said, "It is said that this cannot be because Thomas is dead and this is also his delusion." That night, when Laura was lying on the bed, her husband also came and laid down with her, with whom she started talking. Then she completely drowns in the time spent with Simon. She tells these things to her husband too. But after some time, when the door opens, her husband comes to the room. Laura was scared to see this. "Who was with me on the bed when she looked at the sheet? There was no one there, so she was scared," she tells her husband, but both do not understand anything. Now Laura is very worried because of these strange things. And because Simon disappeared, it had been 9 months, so she goes to a professor who is a psychologist. She tells him everything after Simon's disappearance, whatever happened to him, even he. She also gives Thomas a piece of meat which she got when she pushed Laura. Hearing all this, the professor asks her to go to a medium. That is to paranormal investigator, who investigates these strange things of ghosts and works to chase them away after talking to them. The next day, medium comes to Laura's house with her full preparation. She tries to talk to all the souls of the house while sitting in a dark room, while others were looking at the medium through the cameras from the other room, where the medium comes to a room while checking the orphanage, where she hears the voices of 5 orphan children, who were crying and asking for help from the medium. It was looking like she was in a very bad condition. The others who were sitting in the other room were also hearing the crying of the children through the audio machine. When the medium asks about Simon from those children on the professor's advice, suddenly, the power of all machines goes out. The machines are shut down and this process is stopped here. Then all people gather and Medium apologizes to Laura that I couldn't find Simon. She also says that people who are about to die or near death can see souls. Listen. Laura is in thought. She thinks that Simon was also sick. So maybe he was able to see those souls because of him. He started calling him his invisible friend. Hearing it, Laura's husband was angry. He tells all these things to the professor and everyone to leave his house. While leaving, Laura tells him that you are a mother and you can find Simon because of your love for your child. You just have to pay attention to everything and notice the smallest things. Laura again comes to the room where the medium hears the crying of the children. Then she broke the window and fell on the bench. When Laura checks the bench, she finds some dolls there along with Simon's picture. It was looking as if these things were also kept here as clothes. And she remembers about that game. So Laura understands that those souls are playing the game of treasure hunt with me. She finds a door knob through the door. When she checks the whole house, she finds no door without a knob. Then Laura comes to the shed and checks where she finds the locket of the social worker. Then she remembers that she also came here to look for something that day. Laura breaks the small door of the small chamber and takes out the bags of cement. But when she opened them, she was out of her senses. Because the dead bodies of her 5 friends come out of them, with whom Laura used to live in this orphanage. These were the children who had done all this after going to the cave with Thomas. Actually, after that day, the social worker had told those children. She wanted to avenge the death of Thomas. She poisoned the food of those children and killed them. Then they were filled with these bags and kept here. And because Laura had opened the orphanage again, so social worker came here to remove these bags, so that no one else may know about it. Now Laura tries to explain all these things to her husband. But he was not ready to listen. And he talks about leaving this orphanage. On it, Laura takes 2 days' time saying, I will live here alone. After their departure, she changes the whole house. She had kept the furniture old. She had given the same look as this orphanage used to look like 3 years ago. Then she puts the food on the dining table, wearing the uniform of the worker of the orphanage. She also sits there, placing her dolls on the chairs. Then she calls the souls of her friends through the door. But when she doesn't come for a long time, Laura starts playing a game. She used to play with her friends in this orphanage. The souls of those children come there while playing the game. But when she asks them about Simon, the children start running from there to play the game. Looking for a friend, Laura comes to a small room. There was a lot of stuff there. Checking this room, Laura comes there. A secret door is shown. It was the door without a lock. There was a basement as soon as it opens. Laura starts to check coming down. She finds many drawings of Thomas on the wall. It is obvious that he used to live in this basement. After checking the board, she sees Simon's corpse in front of Thomas's clothes. Laura is in a daze. She was completely broken. She was like a mad woman. She starts crying while sitting beside him. Because she remembers something. She starts regretting the mistake. Actually, that baby with the mask, whom Laura was thinking of as Thomas, was actually Simon. When Laura forbade him to go to Thomas's house, she slapped Simon. So he was upset and came to this basement. Everyone was looking for him. I don't know where he went. So he was in this basement. Now Laura made a mistake here. When she came to see in this small room. So she didn't know that there could be a secret basement here. She ignored this door. By setting a big pipe, she fell in front of the door of the basement by mistake. This door was blocked. From where poor Simon came out. After returning from the hospital, Laura was hearing loud voices in the house. It was not someone else but Simon who was trying to come out of the basement. By mistake, his leg slipped and he fell down from the stairs. His neck was broken and the poor man died there. Now Laura brings Simon's body from there to her room. She had held Simon in her lap. She takes her last breath after taking all the pills of sleep. It means she was also dead. After a while, we see Laura in the world of souls. People go to afterlife after death. Simon is in her lap. Her mother-in-law Thomas and the souls of those 5 orphan children are also there. When Simon had found the coins in the game of treasure hunt, she asked her mother Laura. After her death, Laura also comes to her after her death. and she takes care of Simon and the other children. Then the souls of all children come to Laura, and she tells the story of those children while playing the role of a mother. After this, we see Laura's husband who has killed Laura, Simon, Thomas. He buried the corpses of the other children and made their funeral. He was making flowers on their graves. When he returned to the orphanage, he found the same chain that he had given to Laura. He said that I will take it back from you when I find our child. Then the front door opened automatically. Seeing the front door, he found his chain and smiled at his face. Because he understood that Laura has finally found Simon. Because finding the chain is a sign for this. Now Laura and Simon are both happy together. And the movie ends here.